It was a huge distraction all week. So I don't agree with anyone that says it had nothing to do with it, because it did. They spent the whole week defending why they were in Miami on a boat with Justin Bieber partying. And it may not have had anything to do with how badly they played, but it all was beef stew. It was all churned up and cooked on the stove. And all week long, that's all they talked about. We had Gary Myers of the Daily News on here saying, if they don't perform well, they are going to get abused by everyone everywhere. And they were. They were abused all night on Twitter. They were abused in the back pages of the tabloids in New York today. And it was all about the boat. There was nothing else. And then, instead of talking about how bad Beckham sucked in the football game, the only thing he didn't do in that game was get in a fight, because he was terrible as a receiver. And then after the game, he went and started punching holes in walls and smashing his head into locker rooms, stalls. And that kind of behavior is from, psychotic people. Who does that? Who hurts themselves? What's wrong with the kid that smashes his head into the wall all day? Honestly, at some point you're like, well, go ahead and smash your head in. What do I care? But he acts like a 2-year-old. He has acted like a 2-year-old since they've got him. His whole sideline marriage to a kicking net was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. He's a sideshow. He's a freak. He's immature. He's all about me, I, narcissist at the highest level. And he has, frankly, turned into a complete embarrassment for the franchise. Now they have to answer to his, once again, deplorable antics and behavior and actions. And it's not even their building, and he's punching holes in the walls. He's a clown. He's a great receiver, but in the biggest game, he wasn't jack. He was a great receiver in games that don't matter. In a game that mattered, he didn't show up with all of his naked buddies that warm up in 20 below weather with no shirts on because they think they're badasses. But in the game, they played like little girls. They got their asses handed to them. They are all talk, all headlines, all ESPN. They should be on the all ESPN team. I'm on TV every day of the week, but when it matters most, and you got to play football for the big dollars and going to get even more money if you win the Super Bowl. You'll make more money, make your head spin. You'll become bigger than ever. Your brand will be bigger than ever. But when it came time to play in a game that mattered, Odell Beckham and Shepard and Cruz were the biggest wussies on the field. All three of them sucked. They were all worthless. The only guy that showed up for that game yesterday was Eli Manning. That was it. Because he was throwing some sweet passes, and these clowns were dropping all of them. How does that sound?